Welcome to K-Drama Cycle, the home of stories you can't stop talking about. Today, we dive into a moment that wasn't in the script, wasn't in the plan, and definitely wasn't expected by anyone on set. A moment so soft, so intimate, and so unfiltered that it left everyone wondering the same question. Why did Ginny refuse to let go of Jayna even after the director yelled cut? It happened during the filming of their newest drama, a romantic youth series where Ginny and Jayna play longtime friends whose feelings slowly cross the line between loyalty and love. Their chemistry had already become the talk of the cast, the crew, and of course, the fans. Even during rehearsals, the way Ginny would look at Jayna seemed a little too natural. And Jayna, who was known for her composure, always lost it a little around Ginny, laughing more softly, smiling a bit warmer, and letting her guard fall without even realizing it. But nothing prepared anyone for what happened during this scene. It was supposed to be a simple emotional hug. The script described it plainly: character A pulls character B into a sudden embrace. A 3-second hold. B stiffens, then softens. That was it. 3 seconds. Easy. Routine. But the moment the cameras started rolling, the air shifted. Ginny stepped closer to Jayna, slower than usual, her eyes lingering in a way that wasn't written anywhere in the script. Jayna felt it too. You could see it in the way her breath caught for a moment. The director leaned forward, sensing something was about to happen, something real. Ginny wrapped her arms around Jayna, and the hug didn't feel like a performance. It felt like something they had been holding back for a long time. Jayna's hands, which were supposed to hover awkwardly before settling, immediately found Ginny's back. She held her like she meant it. The room went quiet, more quiet than any set had the right to be. Even the boom operator forgot to breathe. 3 seconds passed, then 4, then 5, and still neither of them moved. Everyone waited for the director to call cut, but even he was caught in the moment, stunned by how this one embrace suddenly felt like a confession, like a truth leaking out through the cracks of the script. When he finally snapped out of it, he raised his voice and called, "Cut!" Jayna instinctively loosened her grip, ready to pull away. But Ginny didn't. Her arms stayed locked around Jayna's waist. Her forehead stayed pressed to Jayna's shoulder. And for a long moment, she didn't move an inch. The set froze again. Jayna whispered Ginny's name softly, confused but gentle, asking if she was okay. Ginny didn't answer right away. She simply held on, as if letting go meant losing something she wasn't ready to lose. Someone from the staff quietly whispered, "Is this part of the scene?" But no one had an answer. Finally, after what felt like almost a full minute, Ginny pulled back slightly, her eyes glistening in a way that wasn't just acting. Jayna immediately noticed. She cupped Ginny's cheek without thinking, brushing her thumb under Ginny's eye with a tenderness that surprised even her. She didn't ask what was wrong. She didn't question what had just happened. She simply stayed close, grounding Ginny through the silent storm behind her eyes. The director didn't dare intervene again. The cameras were still rolling even though the scene was technically over. He knew something real was unfolding, something that couldn't be directed. Ginny finally spoke in a quiet voice meant only for Jayna, but the mic caught it anyway. She said, "I needed that more than I thought." Jayna's expression softened instantly, like everything suddenly made sense. She whispered, "Then hold on as long as you need." And Ginny did. Later, when they reviewed the footage, the director didn't cut the moment out. In fact, he decided to keep the entire unscripted embrace because, in his words, it was too honest to throw away. But the staff saw more than just honesty. They saw a shift, a change, a new kind of energy between the two actresses that couldn't be undone. Off camera, Jayna stayed beside Ginny the rest of the day. They talked quietly between takes. Ginny seemed lighter, more at ease, while Jayna watched her with a protective softness no one could ignore. During lunch, Jayna brought Ginny food and sat beside her, shielding her from curious eyes and unspoken questions. And when someone joked, "You two are inseparable today," Ginny only smiled and said, "Maybe we always were." Rumors began spreading among the crew that Ginny and Jayna's connection wasn't just professional. Some said they were soulmates in the making. Others whispered that the hug exposed real feelings that neither actress had admitted yet. Whatever the truth was, one thing was undeniable: that unscripted hug changed everything. Fans noticed it too. When behind-the-scenes photos leaked showing Ginny holding Jayna longer than needed, the internet exploded. Trending tags asked if something was happening between them. Others wondered if the emotional moment was tied to stress, exhaustion, or something deeper in Ginny's personal life. But no matter how many speculations circulated, the one thing people kept coming back to was the way Jayna comforted her, as if she already knew Ginny's heart before she said a word. And even after the episode aired, viewers could still feel the sincerity of that embrace. It wasn't acting. It wasn't rehearsed. It wasn't crafted by a scriptwriter. It was a moment of real emotion captured on camera, a moment that fans are still talking about now. The atmosphere on set changed after that hug. Not dramatically, not loudly, but subtly, like a shift in the wind that only the most attentive could feel. Ginny wasn't avoiding anyone, but she was quieter than usual, more thoughtful, more aware of the way Jayna's presence seemed to calm her without Jayna even trying. And Jayna, who was usually the composed one, found herself glancing at Ginny more often, checking on her with her eyes long before she used her words. The next scene they had to film was supposed to be lighthearted, a silly comedic exchange where their characters bickered over something trivial. But for the first time, Jayna seemed unable to switch into her playful mode without first looking at Ginny, silently asking if she was okay. And Ginny, still carrying that lingering softness from earlier, gave her a small smile that wasn't meant for anyone else. That was enough to settle Jayna's nerves. The director noticed it immediately. He pulled the assistant director aside and whispered, "Whatever happened earlier, it's changing their entire dynamic." And honestly, it works. But while their chemistry on screen blossomed, behind the scenes, something deeper was unfolding, something neither actress dared to name. During a short break, Ginny found herself sitting alone near one of the prop shelves, twisting the cap of her water bottle absent-mindedly. She didn't hear Jayna approach until she felt a gentle tap on her shoulder. Ginny looked up, startled. Jayna sat beside her, close enough that their knees almost touched. "Are you feeling better?" Jayna asked softly. Ginny hesitated, then nodded, but it wasn't convincing. Jayna didn't push. Instead, she leaned slightly closer and said, "You know you can talk to me, right? You don't have to pretend around me." Ginny exhaled slowly, as if releasing something she'd been holding in for far too long. "It wasn't supposed to hit me like that," she murmured. "The scene, the hug. I don't know why it got to me." Jayna listened carefully. She didn't judge, didn't comment, didn't shy away. She simply waited, giving Ginny space to find the words. Finally, Ginny continued, "I guess I've been feeling overwhelmed. And when I hugged you, it felt safe. I didn't want to let go." There it was, honest, raw, vulnerable. And Jayna felt something tighten in her chest at the confession. She reached out and took Ginny's hand, intertwining their fingers without hesitation. "You're not alone," she whispered. "I'm right here." It was such a simple sentence, but it carried so much weight that Ginny almost teared up again. She squeezed Jayna's hand gently, as if grounding herself. When the break ended, they returned to set still holding hands. A few staff members exchanged glances, but no one said anything. Everyone sensed the moment was too delicate to poke at. Instead, they adjusted their equipment and waited for the next scene to begin. But the true turning point happened that evening. The cast and crew wrapped early. As everyone packed up, Jayna walked over to Ginny and asked if she wanted to grab something to eat before heading home. Ginny agreed, almost too quickly, as if relieved that Jayna took the first step. They left the studio quietly, slipping into a small restaurant tucked away in a side street to avoid attention. Inside, the mood was warm and intimate. They sat across from each other, but the table felt too small for the distance between them. Jayna kept watching Ginny, noticing things she had never paid attention to before. The way Ginny brushed her hair behind her ear when she was nervous, the way she bit her lip when she was thinking, the soft smile she wore when she finally began to relax. Ginny opened up more than she planned. She talked about the pressure she had been under recently, the exhaustion that had been piling up, the unfair expectations, and the fear of disappointing people. Jayna listened to every word, not interrupting, not offering solutions, just being present with her. And Ginny realized something she hadn't expected. She trusted Jayna more than anyone else in her life right now. After dinner, they walked together toward the parking lot, their pace slow, their shoulders brushing occasionally. When they reached Ginny's car, she hesitated before unlocking the door. Jayna stood close, waiting. "Thank you," Ginny said softly. "For today. For earlier. For everything." Jayna stepped closer. "You don't have to thank me. I'm here because I want to be." For the second time that day, Ginny's breath caught. She looked up at Jayna and whispered, "Why do you care so much?" Jayna didn't answer right away. Instead, she reached out and gently tucked a strand of hair behind Ginny's ear, letting her fingers linger just a moment longer than necessary. Then she whispered back, "Because you matter to me. More than you realize." Ginny's heart raced. She didn't know what to say. She didn't know how to process the warmth in Jayna's eyes or the meaning behind her touch. But she knew one thing: something had changed. Something had deepened. And Jayna felt it too. They stood there for several quiet seconds, neither moving, neither speaking. The world around them faded into the background. It was just the two of them, bathed in the dim glow of the streetlights, suspended in a moment that felt like the beginning of something new. Finally, Jayna stepped back, but her voice remained soft. "Get home safe. Text me when you're inside." Ginny nodded, still speechless. She got into her car, took one last look at Jayna standing outside, and felt her chest tighten in a way she wasn't prepared for. As Jayna walked away, Ginny whispered to herself, "Why does it feel like she sees right through me?" What neither of them knew yet was that this moment, this quiet, tender, unplanned exchange, was only the beginning of everything that would come next.